for study.
Okay, that's fine then. Alright, so let me get a good angle. This is the second time today. Earlier I had a student following me while I was talking with their video. And I'm like, what are you doing? Alright, so as far as the structures of the mid-sagittal section in the brain, you have the corpus callosum. You see the corpus callosum there. As you make your way into the corpus callosum, you have your lateral ventricles. Kind of at the anterior aspect of that corpus callosum, you have a fleshy membrane there. This is the septum pellucidum. As you start making your way posterior, just anterior to the thalamus, you have the fornix. So beyond that, you see the thalamus, and around that thalamus, you see the third ventricle. So this third ventricle will drain into the cerebral aqueduct, just kind of running through here, and eventually lead to the fourth ventricle, just anterior to the cerebellum. So making our way back to the thalamus, here's our thalamus. Just so you can orient yourself, you see the optic nerve. This is where the optic chiasma would be. Here's the pituitary gland. So if we go back to the mid-sagittal view, directly posterior to the optic chiasma would be the hypothalamus. So there's the hypothalamus, and there's the mammillary body there. So again, thalamus, hypothalamus. Going back in this direction, you see the pineal gland at the posterior base of the corpus callosum. And then posterior inferior to that, you see the corpora quadrigemini, which are these bumps here. If we open this up in this direction, you can see them a little bit better. So that would be the superior colliculi, and this would be the inferior colliculi. So from the mid-sagittal view, you have superior colliculi and the inferior colliculi. Remember, these are the ones that are involved with the superior colliculi with moving the head in the direction of the eyes, and the inferior colliculi with reflexive movements of the head based on what you're hearing. As you make your way down, the midbrain would be here. This is where you would find the cerebral peduncles. You continue down from the midbrain to the pons, and then to the medulla, and then eventually you see the spinal cord. Here's the cerebellum. Mid-sagittal, you can see the arbor vitae, which is all these white structures that you're seeing. And then as far as the cranial nerves that you guys are going to see in these nerves, or in this brain, you have the olfactory bulb, which is essentially the olfactory nerve, which is number one. The optic nerve here. And keep in mind, when we put these together, you would have the optic chiasma, where they cross together. The next highly visible nerve will be the trigeminal. This is a fairly large nerve with 3 branches here. 1, 2, 3 branches. So that's our trigeminal nerve. Inferior to the, or deep to the dura mater here, you have your abducens coming off of the pons. You can see some visible portions of the accessory nerve here, and deep to the dura. You can also see the oculomotor nerve. And so this is a fairly thick nerve, band-like nerve. If this wasn't there, you would see that fairly clearly. So the main nerves again: olfactory, optic, trigeminal, oculomotor, accessory, and the abducens right there. Okay. I think that's it.